Welcome into another episode of Action Talk. I'm Thomas Shafer, and I'm joined by my co-host Mark Saavedra, and this is our second episode of the week. We just had a Thanksgiving Day episode where we were previewing the three games from for Thursday. We were doing totals against the spread, all that juicy stuff.
Yeah, and make sure to check out our description where we'll have the link to that episode. And while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Action Talk Bets. But without further ado, Thomas, let's dive into this great Week 12 slate. A lot of fun games, at least the potential to be fun games. And in my opinion, the funnest game to watch is going to be the Raiders going to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Raiders favored by 3 points here. How are you feeling about this one, Thomas?
The Raiders have impressed me so much this season, man. I did not expect them to have a good season this year. One of our coworkers at work was like, "Oh, Thomas, they're going to make the playoffs. Let's bet on it." And then I was like, no, I'm not that confident, but they have looked great. They're 7-3 against the spread, so I'm going to lay that small number. They almost beat Patrick Mahomes twice. They beat him earlier in the season. They beat Drew Brees. So I don't think they're going to have any issues taking care of Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons.
I absolutely agree with you. I'm laying the 3 points. And, man, we've seen what they've done to the Chiefs defense. This team can score. If you don't have a defense, they can score 30-plus at will. And, man, the D-line of the Falcons is really weak, so I think that they're going to be able to get a good push up front. They're going to be able to rely on Josh Jacobs to get the play action rolling. And, man, I don't think the Falcons defense is going to have any answers for this Raiders team. I just think the Raiders are a more complete team, a stronger, tougher, just a better football team. So, you know what? I'm rolling with the Raiders and laying the -3. And, honestly, 55.5 is some low-hanging fruit. So, you know what? Got to take a bite out of that, taking that over, parlaying the two, and making it nice and juicy. You're going to enjoy that fun matchup.
So going to the divisional game we got up in Indianapolis, we have the Titans taking on the Colts. Colts are a 3.5-point favorite. We saw this matchup a couple weeks ago. Who do you like here?
I got burned last time, and you know what? It's very hard to sweep your division opponent twice. So I'm rolling with the Titans again. I trust them, so I'm definitely taking that +3.5. I think that's a lock, but I will be sprinkling that money line to a good number of my parlays. So got to take the Titans here +3.5. I really like that. Like I said, hard to beat a division opponent twice. And if they do, it's certainly not going to be a blowout fashion twice. So I think this is going to be a close game. Got to take that +3.5. It's too safe.
So if you have been listening to the podcast since our preview show, our very first episode, you know that I'm not a Phillip Rivers fan. But, hey, I got to admit when I'm wrong, and that's hard for me to do when I admit I'm wrong. I will paint it a picture to make it look like I'm right even when I'm wrong. But I was wrong about Phillip Rivers, man. This team is good, and he's playing great the last 2 or 3 weeks. His whole season as a whole hasn't been amazing, but this span he's been playing in, beating the Packers, beating the Titans, he's looked so good. And I got to go with the hot hand, Phillip Rivers, in that elite defense. Their defense is ranked number 2 in the NFL. And I know me and you have a future bet out on Derrick Henry as the leading rusher in the NFL. And I'm hoping that he can crack 100 yards just to stay in pace with Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough task for the Tennessee Titans to go up to Indy, where these guys are feeling good after a great comeback victory against the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. As I was watching the Packers game and they were up early, I was thinking, all right, this is going to be great. Like, I really like the Titans, but if the Colts lose this game, then have to, go against a tough division opponent, this is great. But that comeback win is definitely good for the morale. I just don't think it's going to be enough to at least get a 4-point or more win here. I'm sorry. I mean, they can maybe edge one out, but they're also, just Phillip Rivers has been hot, but it's not like it's so much talent. It's a lot of, anticipation, heads-up play, which is good because, he can turn the ball over. But I don't know, man. If he starts getting some tough defense and, it's not so easy anticipating a read, he might struggle a little bit and maybe cough up 2 interceptions. And he's due for one of those games sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So
I do agree with that this magic isn't going to last till December and January where they're making a playoff run. But I don't think the Titans defense is what it was last year. I think we both would agree with that. And he lit them up a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to go with Phillip Rivers and, hope for the best and hope that he's still playing at the high level that he played last weekend.
Well, you can hope for that. I know I don't have to hope for Patrick Mahomes to play at a high level, and man, he's going down to Tampa Bay to face those Bucs. That man, I don't know how you can bet on them. They're so wishy-washy. They're just all over the place. One week they look great, Super Bowl contenders, slam them for the NFC champ, and then they go and just die and look miserable. And Tom Brady looks absolutely lost without Belichick. So with all that being said, I'm sure you know my pick. But Thomas, Chiefs rolling into Tampa Bay as 3.5-point favorites. How are you feeling about this one, man? Brady's already burned you enough this season. I can't imagine you rolling with him again.
I don't think he's burdened me that often. I mean, I called them to beat the Packers, so that was a money line sprinkle. Get that plus money I got. So, if you bet on them every week, then eventually they're not going to win, okay? That's just how it happens, especially when you're going against the spread. But I think it's less of a Tom Brady issue, more of a lack of having a balanced offense. In the losses against the Saints and against the Rams, I almost forgot who they played because I fell asleep during that game. But the Rams and the Saints, they've only averaged 25 yards as a team rushing the ball. That's impossible to win when you're averaging 25 yards a game. You're not going to win. I don't care who's back there. Jesus Christ, Patrick Mahomes, they might be the same person, but I think that the Chiefs, the Chiefs don't have a good rush defense. So I think Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette are going to be able to do enough to be able to keep this offense balanced and give Tom Brady breaks from, trying to sling it down to AB and everything. Like just keep short, intermediate routes. That's what Brady's done his entire career. Stop trying to make him Jameis Winston throwing 30 picks and 30 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. That's not what Brady does. So if Bruce Arians figures that out and just gets out of his own way, I think that they're going to be in a good position to win this game. I don't think the Chiefs are going 15-1 either. So I think that this is a game where they're just going to trip up and it's going to shock people because people are going to be hammering the Chiefs just because it's Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
I was long-winded.
No, you're good. I don't know if Aaron's going to figure it out because Aaron's always got some answer, right? Brady wasn't making the throws. This wasn't the Tom Brady we were seeing in practice. Now he's saying that Brady's calling his own plays, but whatever, man. I mean, we can hope. You can hope, but they're going to make adjustments. I just can't bet on this team anymore. I mean, for so much star power and so much just so much talent, for them to just flop so many times, I can't put my money on them. So I'm certainly not taking the plus 3.5. I'm laying the 3.5. I trust the Chiefs here. Definitely slamming the money line, but I will sprinkle that 3.5. And I like the under here because I think everyone's going to think, Brady, Mahomes was over. Like Thomas said, they're definitely going to try and run the ball over there in Tampa, and the game plan against Patrick Mahomes is always keep him off the field. So they're going to stay committed to the run. They're going to try and control the tempo. And, I think under 56 and Chiefs money line is a good little parlay. So there you go, another little double pick there.
Wait, you're taking under in this game? The Chiefs have given up points to the Raiders, to the Panthers. This team hasn't looked great recently. So you're going to take the under? I'm staying away from that. I'm just taking the Bucs. 3.5 points and probably sprinkle in the money line, but I don't know about that.
My pick is absolutely Chiefs money line here, just to clarify. Absolutely slamming Chiefs money line. Like I said, I'm going to sprinkle. When I say I'm going to sprinkle this money line, sprinkle that, those little sprinkles all go into a parlay, my sprinkle parlay. So the 3.5 is going to go there because it could be a tight game, but yeah, I'm taking the under here. I think both teams are going to be in the 20s, and it's going to be a low-scoring, hard-fought battle. So Chiefs money line in the under. Let's do it. And I like that it's flat right now at 56.0, so at least you can get a push.
So from one struggling quarterback to the next, we have Carson Wentz going. Wait, is this on the road? I might have this on the road. Is this on the road or is this in Seattle?
Seattle's going to Philadelphia.
Okay, I have this backwards on my notes, but okay, so we got Seattle going to the Eagles. This is a 5.5-point spread in Seattle's favorite. Who do you like here?
How can you bet on the Eagles, right? I mean, how can you put your money on the Eagles? Forget about money line. That's not even a topic of discussion for a sprinkle or an underdog or any bet. Any bet. Donate to charity if you're going to bet on the Eagles. 1, 2, can't trust them with the spread either. So definitely not taking that 5.5 with the Eagles, laying the points here. Love Seattle. Love Russ. I think he's due for an absolutely monstrous performance to get back on track for the MVP conversation. The train's gone off the tracks a little bit. I think this is when it gets rolling. He's going to have, I'm saying take over 3 touchdown passes if you can find that in your books, because I think Russ is going to cook. Probably going to take over 350 as well. See if I can get a little parlay in that. But yeah, so I'm just giving picks left and right here. I'm feeling generous. Just got to give out money today.
I love your I love your energy, and I love this pick. -5.5. Carson Wentz leads the NFL in interceptions thrown and sacks taken, the categories that you don't want if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think you're right that Russell Wilson's due for a big game with Lockett and Metcalf out there. And even if, say the Eagles are able to score a touchdown or two, I don't think they're going to be able to consistently be able to keep up with this offense with Carson Wentz. I think this is pretty much a lock, in my opinion. This is my best bet of the weekend. So I don't really even want to relay what I just went through because it's interceptions, Russ Wilson playing freaking amazing. That's why that's my best bet. How about you?
Well, like I said, I absolutely love that bet. But my best bet is going to be Cardinals -2.5. I saw that line, and the public in me just thought you absolutely have to slam that. And I haven't bought it much. I'm really looking at that line. I'm like, man, I think this is a good matchup for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a much better football team at the moment. And yeah, I got to roll with them, man. I love that -2.5. So slamming Cardinals -2.5.
See, we're going to have to disagree there because that is my underdog of the week, the New England Patriots. That line just looks weird to me. -2.5 and the Cardinals favorite at New England. It's a low underdog, but I think that, I know I've been saying Cam Newton's kind of shot out, but he can still run the ball, and that's all they do. They run I feel like they're in like a money ball situation where they're like, okay, Cam Newton can't throw the ball like he used to, so we have to run the ball this amount of time to be successful in order to win. And I think that that's kind of the position that they're going to be in this weekend with 2 top 5 rush offenses playing against each other. I think this is going to be low scoring because the defenses are pretty good. And I think that Cam Newton pulls out this upset in New England.
Well, as I said, absolutely fading you here. My best bet of the Browns cash last week didn't need an explanation. I don't think this one needs that much of an explanation either, so I'm just going to move on. My favorite underdog this week, man, the line, I looked at it and I was like, ooh, this is just tricky. Gotta go with the Chargers money line +210. I was between them or the Jags because the Jags also give me a really weird feeling, but maybe just +6.5 there. Going to take the Chargers money line +210 is a very, very juicy bet for this team. And the Bills are one of those teams that they can go high and low, and you never know what you're really going to get. At least we know Herbert can score. The defense is hit or miss sometimes. And, man, if we can get that pass rush going against Josh Allen, we might see a Chargers upset. So I'm going with that money line +210.
So what about your teaser? Are you teasing the
Yes,
not the Cardinals? Are you teasing them up?
I'm sorry. Am I teasing who? You said the Cardinals?
No, I didn't mean to say the Cardinals. I said the Cardinals. I meant to say the Chargers since they are your favorite underdog. Is that in your teaser?
Yes, absolutely they are. Got to tease them up to 11.5 because I think they're going to win. I mean, no way they lose by double digits. Love the over in the Raiders-Falcons, so got to tease that. Roll the Titans, and then going to turn the Dolphins, Saints, and Rams to essentially a money line. I think this is a lock, man. 6-1. It's going to be a big bet for me. I really, really have a good feeling about this one.
So my parlay this week, 3 teams, Colts -3.5, where me and Mark disagree. Raiders -3 and Seattle -5.5. Me and Mark both agree on the Raiders and Seahawks. If you like his argument better, hey, just pop that in, slide in the Tennessee Titans if you want. Maybe sprinkle in money line, you'll get some extra juice. But my bet is $10 to win 59. But hey, if you like Mark's pick, slide that in.
Or maybe just take it out and don't be so greedy. But you know how it is on this show. We are greedy. We said on the Thanksgiving episode, we got to gamble on whatever's available when made available. So that's that. And of course, like we recently started, I'm not going to say like always, we got to take our long shot bets, right? So I got 56 cents in my account, lost a bet. I'm not going to say what bet I lost. But I got some bonus funds. So I thought, hey, let's roll it out on a 12-team parlay. So here we go. 56 cents to win $931. People, this is not my money, okay? This is bonus funds from me losing money. And it was a hefty bet, let me say that. So I can't expect much more. This is going to make up my money and make me a lot more. So very happy with this bet. Let's roll with it. 50 cents. Come on.
So I did $1 to win $1,041. It's a 12-team parlay. I mixed in some college football and some NFL football. Last week I had that Jason Day bet in there, sprinkled in there. Actually, that hit. I said Jason Day was going to be a top 20 golfer in last week's tournament, and he was. So, I know golf too. But anyways, golf is off this weekend, so I couldn't sprinkle in any top 20s. Those are my plays. I like the over in the Florida game, sprinkling in Tampa Bay on the money line to get some extra juice. Georgia Southern, I kind of like them as a favorite. And Boston College, Arizona State. So there's a little of everything in that.
Right, there you have it, man. 2 juicy parlays that you just can't resist. I mean, for $1.50 total, you might as well just sling these both out. I'm sorry, what, $1.56, whatever. So let's make some money. Let's get rich. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Action Talk. Please be sure to like and subscribe below and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Action Talk Bets.